Friends, today I'll be talking about the latest development in the intellectual property field in India and across the globe. We all know about HCL. HCL has been a leader in technology field. But what is the latest trend which HCL is doing and which we already talked about, that there's a lot of licensing opportunities in the intellectual property field, and the best part of having intellectual property protected with you is the bigger players or the bigger sharks, they buy the small players or they buy the big players itself for the licensing deal. So HCL has invested $1.1 billion in intellectual property, in acquiring intellectual property of heavyweight champions IBM and DXC. So what does that hold for? Yes, acquiring intellectual property is not a gamble. Somewhere I read, like, is it a gamble that HCL is doing a gamble by acquiring intellectual property? The answer is definitely no. It's a very right move in acquiring any kind of intellectual property because you can build products around it, and by building products, you make the right moves. You create a competitive market, and at the end, the customer is benefited. So, what does the future hold for HCL? Is the future proof of business would be in India and across the globe. We have seen that. We all know about the Apple and the Samsung war in US. So a lot was done on the patenting part. A lot of infringement proceedings were there. So the future of any company is to protect the intellectual property and have a set of patent claims granted which are very, very strong. Just having a patent application won't suffice the purpose. You need to have a very, very strong patent claims granted by the patent office, because once the application is going in court of law, it can be invalidated. So, what is important? How to generate intellectual property, how to do IP harvesting. We at TCIs can assist you with this whole process of understanding what is intellectual property and what does it hold for you in the near future. Intellectual property brings a lot of global opportunities, not only in India. However, one should understand patenting is part of intellectual property, and IPR rights per se is territorial in nature. When we say territorial in nature, means you have to file for IP in each and every country. There are different treaties whereby India is signatory to those treaties, and you can enter into multiple countries. Do you hold as an entrepreneur or as a startup in India, that you need to have that aspiring mind, and how to channelize the energy and be a part of the holistic ecosystem in the current era is to have a successful long-term business model. The business model per se should not be short-term. However, you should have sections which talks about short-term goals. You can have long-term goals. Innovation is the only way of disrupting the current way of doing business. It can be any vertical, whether you talk about cloud computing, you talk about online advertisement, you talk about digital payments, you talk about blockchain technology. See, the blockchain technology per se, when we talk about the digital payment sector, is an underlying technology on which a lot of innovations can happen, because you're using a particular platform to solve a particular problem. Amazon is giving very good offers to small startups to use those servers. So when they are providing those servers, they are, you as an entrepreneur, storing your all your data in their servers. And when you store your data in their servers, basically a lot of big data is generated at their end also. And if you go through the terms and condition policy, they are free to use your big data. So, what are we giving Amazon and other companies who are the big players all the big data which is being generated by the small players? So, what are the sectors in which Amazon is very, very active? Is healthcare. Again, health is wealth. So this is one sector which will never fade. Another very important sector is food sector. In whichever era we are, food is going to be the need of the hour. What we need to understand is the end goal of doing business in India or across the globe is to make a difference in the society, to make an impact in the society, and to solve massive problems. When we say we are solving massive problems, we need to identify the right market, the right human resources, and the right funding. Getting funds is one part, utilizing it in the best possible manner is altogether different scenario. So the achievement for any entrepreneur or any CEO or founder is to impact the society in a big manner. So what is important is to identify the potential in your business, and it's the performance, how your business is performing over the years. So if you have any questions related to intellectual property harvesting, how to harvest intellectual property in your current business model, we at TCRS would be happy to perform IP due diligence for your ongoing business model and identify the best IPs which can be generated, and the same can be filed before the patent office, and then obviously you might get a licensing deal in near future. Having said that, if you have any questions, just put your questions in the comment box below and we'll get back to you on that. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.